Good. So what I want to point out is, and I wish they kind of, well, they kind of do if you look carefully at where the commas are, is they're trying to group things. Sometimes it's kind of sloppy, but if you look, try to do that one index married man, hearing, wedding, wedding, possess, like so at the wedding. So that one over there, married man, that's hearing. Like the last comma should be, or the second last comma shouldn't be there, the after man. Anyway, and I always see pos and think possible. It's actually possessive, right? I've seen a couple of different signs for bridesmaid, carrying flowers. Bridesmaid, best man, right? Meet in the center, right? SL1, CL1. party group. I will include the vocab from the student book at the end of the chapter. But take a look through it. Take a look at the examples they give. There are a few different signs for honeymoon. Let me double check one before I record it, just to make sure I'm remembering it absolutely correctly. Okay. I should put this link in every PowerPoint, but it doesn't have every sign you need. Spread the sign, and I think if I jump over to here, you can see honeymoon. There's a couple different variations. There's some regional signs. This seems to be the one that's the most consistent. And if spread the sign is saying that they want to spread that, I think that's probably the best choice. They found it. It's more places do this than any other. So honeymoon, right? Honeymoon, do. All right. I'll pause it. Go back. Boo. So here are some activities that we will do in class. Again, if you've been in a class with me, you know how much time I spent talking about what we do on a daily basis and incorporating lessons in there. So I want you to think about, what did you do last weekend? And go through that list of 8 things and how would you sign each of them. If there's any that are difficult to sign, hold off on those. With some events and with some weekends, there are certain ones that will be more useful than others. And if that's how you decide what your list is going to be, that's fine. Better that than you fumble and you're not sure of how to sign something, have to kind of do it on the fly and maybe make a mistake. Go with things you know. So this would go through, this is me basically asking for more details. And this is an example of, I've got to go through their videos. Sometimes they list these descriptions without actually having a video of someone signing it. I'm hoping that as they update the pink book, they will start to include videos of each of these. If I can find a video of someone recording this, I will. But watching me work from someone else's script is always a little bit, I don't know, awkward, because it's not organic for me. And I think we really benefit when we are talking about stuff we know. So much more information is in the signing. Probably doesn't make much sense, but so just do Sunday. I sign beach. Beach, you can figure spell. So one more meta thing to talk about is anytime that we're going to work on stuff like this, don't be afraid to have a piece of paper in front of you. I will not recommend writing full English sentences. But if you're going to be talking about a trip, brainstorm, write everything you remember about it, some bullet point about everything you remember. Then figure out what ones you could sign and construct your story from there. And practice it again until you feel like you could do it from memory. Because what's nice is if you're not trying to follow a script exactly, your brain will fill in details that are missing, right? So do yourself a favor and make sure it's stuff you know. Now, second half of this is from the appendices. And I'm continuing what we did in 1706, which is the environment classifiers. And I should probably add, let me see if I can go up one. Nope, okay. ECLS. Water, snow, and rain. Okay, so we're continuing what we did. How do you use these classifiers? Now, there's an odd code, which I don't think I mentioned in 1706 because they didn't get as complicated. ECL, S, arrow 1 means a handshake that does this. Right? So it's different than do. It's actually like spitting up, right? So a coffee pot percolating. If you've ever seen a coffee pot where old churches tend to have them, and there's a little glass top and the coffee comes up through a pipe in the center into the thing, which disperses it and onto the coffee grounds. So it keeps percolating through the coffee grounds. So it's like almost a little flashing light. Opposite would be a dripping fountain or a dripping faucet. Spitting as someone talks. Dropping from, you know how before a rainstorm you might get a couple of random drops and then it gets more and more frequent, that kind of thing. A trickle from a hose. Right, so it's drops, repeated drops. The next one is, or right, a splash, stomp, or you're walking, water splashes. So S to 5. The other one with S1. Now we're doing S to 5. Right, cup of water. Something splashing to the ground. So what they're showing you in each of these is the hand shape or the change. Running faucet. So here's like the tap, boom, 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 and it's just running. Drain, right? An infant drooling. This is also the sign for like drooling when you see someone beautiful, or the car that you most dream of. Right? So it's a 4, drooling from the corner of the mouth. Oh. Bleeding, right? Nose running, and even a number of different things. There was blood coming out of his ears, right? So, I mean, this just means steady stream. 5, wiggling. If you wiggle the fingers, it emphasizes it just a little bit. So Niagara Falls, water going over, right? Because there's a lot. Rapids. A meandering stream, active, making noise. Ocean waves again. A wave that sort of curls over, right? So whatever it looks like is what you want to show with your hands. So we've seen some of these other ones. Claw, rain, right? If it's a hard rain, you want the claws. boom. You can see the spread C is just, it's sort of a more open claw than this, and it's like, that's what it looks like, right? That's the spray. Flushed down a toilet, like this is what I think they mean, like right? So it's going in a circle, 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 circle. It's an awkward way to write that. A growing spot, so it's not very deep, but it's just like the oil is spreading out in a pot, right? Or like rings on the circle, rings, splashing in the circle. Flames. So we're getting more now into fire images. We did some more 5 wiggle, right? Candle flame. If you're doing 2 hands, forest fire, house fire, low heat to bigger. If you do start from here and go like, it started out small and then quickly became a bigger flame, right? A dragon breathing out flame, right? So it starts from compressed to expanding into flame. Car headlights, turn off. Brake lights, hazard lights, traffic lights, or actually, and you can insert colors in there as well. So like, red, like flashing, lights flashing in the distance. Try to see beep, 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 or light from a flashlight. Right. Siren lights, spotlight, maybe. So you're starting out from basically off to turning it on. Lights flickering, lightning, and laser beam. Like every Star Wars fight, dogfight. And then we play with these. So again, I've tried in class to incorporate these a lot. But if you just take any image, even if it's, say, the Death Star assault in the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, right? Where you could take individual pieces of that. Here's an X-Wing, and here's, well, it doesn't really look like Darth Vader's TIE fighter, but he comes down behind. It could be boom, 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 and they all move down in behind. No. There actually is an interesting video. I'll see if I can find it, of someone doing like a puppet show with their hands of the Death Star assault. It's not ASL, but it's an interesting idea. So I will try to find that and include that in the slideshow. And then there's vocab review. So again, I divided 17 up into these little bite-sized pieces, so they seem a bit short.